Imagine a world where the boundaries we've accepted for our entire existence, walls, floors, locked doors, physical barriers, simply stop mattering. A world where moving through solid matter is as normal as breathing. A world where we are no longer constrained by the limitations of the physical universe. This is the future promised by molecular phase jumpers, a technology so radical that its arrival would make the smartphone revolution look like the invention of a pencil. And today, we're stepping deep into the physics, applications, dangers, and world-bending implications of the device that allows human bodies to step out of normal matter and pass straight through walls. Let's imagine standing in front of a concrete wall. You place your hand on it, feeling the cold, unyielding solidity. But as you activate the molecular phase jumper wrapped around your wrist, something extraordinary happens. The atoms in your body begin to shift. The electromagnetic forces that normally keep matter from passing through matter weaken. Your hand seems to shimmer, becoming slightly translucent. And then, with a strange sensation like stepping through warm fog, your fingers simply glide inside the wall. You don't break it. You don't push it aside. You pass through it like it was a hologram. To understand how this is possible, we need to talk about the fundamental nature of matter. Most people assume that solids are solid because the particles inside them are tightly packed together, but that's only partially true. Matter is mostly empty space. The reason objects can't pass through each other is due to the electromagnetic fields between their electrons. When you push your hand against a wall, you're not touching the atoms directly. You're feeling the electromagnetic repulsion between the wall's electrons and yours. Molecular phase jumping works by temporarily altering the electromagnetic interaction profile of your body's atoms and lowering the Pauli exclusion barriers that prevent particles from occupying the same quantum state. It uses an ultra-high-frequency oscillating field, a combination of harmonic quantum vibrations and controlled decoherence, to loosen your atomic binding so your molecular structure can momentarily slip between the structures of other solids. In essence, it gives your atoms the ability to tunnel, not randomly like quantum tunneling we observe in electrons, but intentionally, controllably, and at a macroscopic scale. This is the physics breakthrough the world never thought possible: engineered macroscopic quantum decoherence. Imagine your molecules temporarily vibrating at a slightly shifted phase relative to normal matter, aligning themselves so the peaks of your molecular wave functions fall where the solid matter has troughs. Your body becomes a pattern of interference, slipping into the unseen gaps of reality. And while this might sound like pure science fiction, the underlying physics, quantum superposition, decoherence management, vibrational phase modulation, are active research fields today. Molecular phase jumping would simply be an application so advanced that it transforms the borderline impossible into everyday casual reality. But let's step into how this technology changes daily life. Picture construction workers who no longer need to demolish walls. They simply phase through them to fix wiring, plumbing, or structural issues from inside the material itself. Imagine firefighters who walk through collapsing buildings, passing through solid debris or locked doors without hesitation, reaching victims trapped deep within rubble without wasting seconds. Surgeons could take medical precision to a level we've never imagined. Instead of cutting skin, bone, or organs, they could phase into the body, adjust molecular structures, apply treatments, remove tumors, or repair internal injuries, all without making a single incision. For the patient, there's no bleeding, no infection risk, and healing time reduces to almost nothing. Even mundane jobs get transformed. HVAC workers phase into ducts rather than dismantling ceilings. Mechanics slip into engine blocks. Electricians reach buried lines without digging. Delivery workers bypass locked gates or cramped hallways. But as with all powerful technologies, the breathtaking advantages come with equally catastrophic risks. Phase jumping instantly becomes one of the most dangerous tools ever invented. Criminals using phase jumpers could bypass every security system known to humanity. Bank vaults, panic rooms, biometric locks, reinforced steel, all meaningless. A thief could phase straight into a vault, grab what they want, and disappear. Worse, imagine phase-jumping assassins. Someone who can walk through walls to reach high-security individuals becomes nearly unstoppable. Governments and security agencies would scramble to invent counter-phase fields, shielding materials, or reality-anchoring zones that force molecules to remain synchronized with normal matter. Entire industries would arise around anti-phase technology, electromagnetic anchors, binding field corridors, and phase jump detectors. But what happens if someone tries to phase through a moving object? What if two phase jumpers collide mid-phase? What if the device malfunctions and your molecular state resolidifies halfway through a wall? These questions become urgent. During normal operation, molecular phase jumpers rely on quantum field stabilization to maintain a coherent waveform. But if that stabilization were to cut out while you're inside the wall, the results would be catastrophic. Your body would attempt to snap back into normal matter while overlapping with solid atoms. Even a single misalignment could fuse your molecules with the wall, a fatal and irreversible outcome. Because of this, early adopters would undergo strict certification. Only trained experts would be allowed to use phase jumpers at first. Later, as the technology matures and stabilizes, it becomes accessible to wider groups, but always with strict regulations. Schools, hospitals, and government buildings might install atomic coherence fields around their walls to prevent unauthorized phase entry. Some homes would come equipped with anti-phase paint that interferes with debinding fields. Luxury homes might even advertise full phase shield included. But humanity's creativity ensures that every shield inspires someone to break it. Phase hackers, individuals who illegally modify their jumpers to bypass anti-phase systems, would emerge. These black market devices would be incredibly dangerous, offering stronger decoherence fields at the cost of stability. Users of these illegal devices face higher risks of getting permanently trapped inside matter, but the temptation of unrestricted phasing creates an underground economy. Meanwhile, militaries take phase jumping into territory far beyond civilian use. Phase soldiers could infiltrate bunkers, sabotage nuclear facilities, or disable enemy technology without being detected. Phase drones could pass through heavily armored vehicles and detonate from within. Even large-scale warfare changes. Armies develop anti-phase minefields that destabilize jumpers. Nations construct phase-proof bunkers with quantum-locked walls. Underwater phase subs slip through dense rock formations or iceberg walls, traveling routes no submarine ever could. But perhaps the most profound impact of molecular phase jumping isn't military or criminal, it's philosophical. For the first time, the boundary between inside and outside, barrier and path, possible and impossible, becomes blurred. Human beings experience their bodies not as rigid physical objects but as dynamic waveforms that can slip through the static world around them. Our understanding of identity, embodiment, and physicality changes. What does it mean to be solid? What does it mean to occupy space? What happens when every barrier becomes meaningless? In the workplace, molecular phase jumpers create an entirely new class of super-skilled professionals: phase engineers, decoherence safety officers, and waveform technicians. These experts maintain phase tunnels in skyscrapers, oversee high-risk operations, and ensure public safety. In emergencies, urban rescue teams equipped with phase jumpers save thousands of lives. They reach earthquake victims trapped under tons of debris, navigate collapsed subway tunnels, or restore power grids by phasing into dangerous areas inaccessible to humans. Even artists and performers explore phase jumping. Dancers move in ways impossible for solid bodies, slipping partially through floors or walls, creating illusions that transform entertainment forever. Magicians phase through objects in full view. Stage designers reinvent theater spaces where performers drift through solid pillars or float through layered floors like ghosts. But with greater use comes societal controversy. Some people fear that phase jumping undermines the meaning of privacy. Others fear the dangers, believing humanity isn't capable of handling such a power responsibly. Religious groups argue that phasing violates natural laws that shouldn't be tampered with. Meanwhile, futurists argue that phase jumping is merely another step in human evolution, a way for humans to transcend physical limitations and explore the universe more freely. On distant planets, phase jumpers enable colonists to explore hazardous alien terrains. Unknown ecosystems, toxic atmospheres, dense crystalline structures. Phase jumping allows scientists to pass through and analyze conditions without ever physically contacting dangerous matter. In deep space, astronauts use phase jumpers to move inside damaged spacecraft without depressurizing them, repairing hull breaches by phasing into the layers of plating. Phase-enabled mining crews extract rare minerals from asteroid cores by phasing directly into rock formations. Phase tunnels allow for seamless interconnection between remote space habitats. Even space exploration itself transforms. Imagine a spacecraft that phase jumps through cosmic dust, asteroids, or solid ice fields instead of navigating around them. Imagine starships that phase partially out of normal matter to reduce friction during high-speed travel. But the ultimate frontier is planetary exploration. Phase jumping suits could allow humans to walk through molten rock, explore subterranean oceans, or examine alien megastructures without fear of being crushed, trapped, or harmed. The technology becomes essential for mapping and understanding the universe in ways that were once impossible. Yet at the heart of this incredible technology lies one undeniable truth. Even if we learn to phase through walls, we remain human, with all our creativity, fears, impulses, and flaws. The phase jumper is a tool. What humanity does with it determines whether it becomes a symbol of hope or chaos. Whether it liberates us from the constraints of physical reality, or makes us prisoners of consequences we didn't foresee. For now, the idea of walking through solid walls feels like science fiction. But every major advance in history once felt impossible. Flying, talking over distances, touching the moon, shaping DNA, digitizing consciousness. Each began as a dream, a theory, a forbidden thought. Molecular phase jumpers will likely follow that same path. First as speculation, then theory, then experiment, then breakthrough, then global transformation. And when that moment arrives, when humanity finally learns to slip through the walls of the world, we won't just break through barriers. We'll redefine what a barrier even is. Until then, remember this: the limits we accept today could be meaningless tomorrow. The world is full of walls, but the future is full of ways to walk through them. Hey everyone! If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment to share your thoughts, and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future uploads. Your support helps this channel grow. Thank you for watching.